Gooning has become the latest and greatest buzzword to refer to a certain not safe for work action.
Spent too much time gooning this camp, so my forearms are a little sore, so we're going to walk that back a little bit, but yeah, still here, still win.
It follows a long tradition of the internet remaining obsessed with the touching of one's own bits and pieces, with the many names referring to the action changing over the years. From fapping, baiting, edging and gooning, at this stage they all get mixed up into the same pot to mean the same thing. However, gooning has its own special sauce. It's not about just sitting there doing something pretty much everyone else does, it also means being a bit of a deviant about it and going for hours, days, or perhaps even weeks. The idea is that after a while your brain effectively turns into mush, pushing it into some pretty bizarre communities on social media. It is this extra nature of the beast that makes it so compelling as a piece of comedy for so many. After all, the first thing many associate the word goon with is of course the old-fashioned version, that of a dumb, oafish criminal henchman type who has zero brains. Or, in my home country of Australia, goon is another word for cheap cask wine, so it's kind of fun to watch people become confused at the prospect of it meaning something else. The first time a person comes into contact with the word seems to be a bit of a novel event, as it's highly likely they'd Google it and fall down the rabbit hole it leads to.
You guys know what gooning is? You guys goon? I found out about gooning like a couple of years ago and I thought it was pretty funny, and then I realized I started being aware of myself. I was like, oh shit, I'd be gooning.
On that note, gooning seems to have come out of the woodwork shortly after the popularity of edging, a notable trend in the early 20s, died off.
You thought I was gonna let you finish? Not today.
The internet has since taken the inherent silliness of the activity and dialed it up a notch. You get terms like goon cave or goon lord thrown around, especially with the concept of the ghost of the goon front and center for half a year.
The ghost of the goon! The ghost of the goon! Look at the car, the ghost of the goon!
As such, gooning has become more than just the original meaning of the word. The concept has moved forward into a completely ridiculous shitpost, more of a cartoonish action that one makes light of than the very real and very not safe for work origins. Hey fellas, does Revolut have a deal for you? If you're based in Australia, the US or the UK, you can get 40 Aussie dollars, 20 US dollars or 20 pounds when you sign up to Revolut and use your card just once. I mean, who wouldn't want to use a card you could fully design yourself, complete with text, emojis, you name it. At least it won't be boring like the rest of them, eh? Head to the link in the description or scan this code here to check it out /learn more. You could even choose to upgrade to the metal plan to get this sleek stainless steel card. I never have to worry about my card getting snapped or broken because look at it, this thing is durable, man. And when you create an account, you'll get access to a range of perks to make money management a breeze. From smart budgeting tools and secure spending online to travel perks like currency exchange and discounted airport lounge passes. So don't forget, if you're based in Australia, the US or the UK, you can get 40 Aussie dollars, 20 US or 20 pounds when you sign up to Revolut and use your card just once. Head to the link in the description or scan the QR code to check Revolut out. Thanks again to Revolut for being today's sponsor. Goon has permeated its way into the international lexicon. If you check out search traffic for gooning in Google Trends, you can see an incredibly high amount of interest and activity in the past 12 months alone, and as a result, this video has been constructed to discuss gooning and its position in the meat grinder of social media. To really understand it and the world's obsession with the act, you gotta go down some pretty weird rabbit holes. There are far too many instances of very real people who share their very real obsession with the activity all too easily, but thankfully, in this instance, it's become a point of goofiness for many. Making fun of the idea of a person becoming an idiot through their own gratification is bound to generate shock factor and edgy value, making gooning a valuable subject for raking in attention, the currency earned and spent in many online spaces. After all, we've seen the internet embrace the concept of edging, which hit the internet back in 2022 and became a huge fixation for digital culture. The idea that anything in life could be edged, including a microwave, swept digital culture, turning the once not safe for work idea into something completely different. That is the crux of gooning as a meme, and thus its new position as a shitpost. Through these memes, it has fundamentally evolved into a word that has meaning far beyond its original iteration. If someone were to Google the ghost of the goon, they'd get a million results all differing in their execution, but also talking about a black car seen in different countries. Such is the nature of the trend at this stage. As stated prior, there's even become the concept of the goon caves, in which people share their specialized rooms decorated for the sole purpose of gooning, although this started off as serious and then, like all other references to the concept, eventually became an ironic shitpost. It could be argued that gooning has thus fallen into the category many memes find themselves in within the modern age, that of the edgy yet ultimately ridiculous piece, which always manages to worm its way to the front page of social media feeds due to its shock factor. Not safe for work content is something the internet specializes in. This is because the concept of the activities humans get up to at night has long been a focus of cultural movements. Throughout history, the human race has seen an obsession with not safe for work stuff, with the ancient Romans drawing phallic imagery on walls thousands of years ago. Not to mention the place of genitals within ancient mythology and storytelling, within which they take a very front and center position. Then for some, there's the opposite direction, with horniness considered a sticky and disgusting act. You've probably heard of movements like NoFap or No Nut November, which some take very seriously and claim that by withholding gratification, they are improving their lives. Studies ultimately show this to be wishful thinking, but it's interesting how the idea is manifested as a form of purity. Not to mention the many not safe for work memes that have permeated the internet, from one man, one jar, to two girls, one cup, to of course the My Little Pony atrocity. In fact, it seems like anything that can hold fluids gets more attention here. Then you have memes referencing stuff like Belle Delphine selling bathwater, or Sydney Sweeney doing the same, and it just goes on and on and on and on. As such, it's a time-tested truth that humanity is obsessed with itself in this manner, and so it makes sense that gooning would eventually end up another subject of fascination. Last but not least, let's take a look at the idea of the gooner coming after the coomer Wojak, which very much sits within a similar label. The coomer is a person whose life is so consumed by not safe for work content that they cannot possibly function any other way. It's an offshoot of the 30-year-old boomer, which led to the zoomer, which led to the doomer, and then of course the coomer, all within the short space of the late 2010s. The fact is that stereotypes seem to be at play in the digital spaces referencing horniness, and gooning is simply another blip on the radar of this online area. Gooning is, undoubtedly, a funny word for a phenomenon that has become the subject of shitposting for quite a lengthy period. It seems to follow the popularity of edging within social media, becoming the next level in the chain of escalation of the concept. It's only natural that it would garner so much attention, considering the general popularity of human sexuality, and to see gooning reach insane heights on Google Trends for consistent periods is unsurprising. The word has evolved from meaning a dumb henchman to so much more in such a short space of time, and the fact that it isn't taken seriously at all is endearing. In short, this term has become a meme due to the prior listed reasons, but ultimately it's the fact that it sounds funny, coupled with the shock factor of its original meaning that has truly pushed it to the forefront of social media. What meme would you guys like me to give a lesson in next? Let me know in the comments below.
And remember, like and subscribe! Or else.